Welcome back to another Wisco Fanatics Wednesday. Today we have a bunch of basketball, just basketball actually. We have 3 Milwaukee Bucks games to discuss today, and then 2 Wisconsin Badger basketball games. So we're going to hit the intro and get started with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Welcome to another episode of the Wisco Fanatics Show, where we cover the Packers, Bucks, Brewers, and Badgers basketball and football teams from an optimistic and realistic perspective.
All right, so we are very, very typically, shouldn't say always, because we're almost always basically bad news first kind of guys, and that's what we get with the Bucks this week. We get to get the bad news out of the way, and then we get to do the good stuff after. So let's start with last Wednesday's game. This game took place right after our show was over, and it was a frustrating one. But give me your takeaways from last Wednesday night, and we'll talk about how this game went.
Yeah. So we're on a 2-game winning streak, and me and you are like, all right, we're drinking the Kool-Aid. Giannis is back. It's time to really get things going here. Maybe we can get our revenge on the Wizards for, the tough loss we had earlier in the season, right? Well, now we got to wait even longer for some more revenge because obviously we ended up losing this game by 1 point, 114 to 113. But main takeaways for me, Bucks struggled to defend Sarr and Trey Johnson in the first half. Sarr was a number 1 overall pick, rightfully so. He's a talented guy. You could tell that he's still raw, but you can see the potential there with him, especially the length, the shooting ability, the footwork. When that all kind of comes together, he's going to be phenomenal. Yep. This is kind of just like a sidebar, but I don't know if you saw that Young just said that his trade destination would be the Wizards. I was like, oh, wow.
I was just going to say, I was going to end this game off and be like, well, the next time we play the Wizards, Trae Young might be playing for them. So who knows?
And for everything that Trae Young isn't, he is a good playmaker and he is a good pick and roll player. So him and Alex Sarr would actually run a pretty good pick and roll. So for anybody asking why, maybe he sees the potential in Alex Sarr as well.
And they outside of Middleton and CJ McCollum, who would probably have to be included in a trade, that's a pretty young roster.
It is. So Sarr had 14 and 5 in the first half. 3 of his 5 rebounds were on the offensive end. He had 3 of the 7 offensive rebounds that the Wizards had in the first half. The Bucks had 3 offensive rebounds as a team. So him having 3 by himself really hurt the Bucks in the first half. Trey Johnson quite literally couldn't miss from 3-point range in the first half. He was 4 for 4 from 3, and he was pulling up from deep, but he was wide open. The defensive intensity or lack thereof from the Milwaukee Bucks was hard to watch at times, honestly. I try not to get too worked up in a December game on a Wednesday with the Milwaukee Bucks, but man, the way that this season has gone so far, kind of frustrating at times. It's like, dude, you kind of wish for a little bit more defensive intensity on a more consistent basis. So first half, Wizards shot 10 of 17 from 3. That's 58%. Way too many open looks. The Bucks shot 7 of 19 from 3. They were trying to move the ball. Obviously, this is a team that shoots a lot of threes. Everybody shoots a lot of threes, but they just didn't get enough makes. AJ Green had 2 of the 7, and Miles Turner had 2. As well. He was 2 for 3, and Green was 2 for 5. Green had 2 of them, in my opinion, that rimmed out that could have went in. I feel that way about him quite often, honestly. Yep. Second half, the Bucks adjusted to Trey Johnson. He ended the second half with 0 points. He was 0 for 3 from 3 and 0 for 6 from the field. So they adjusted to him. That's nice to see that they can make defensive adjustments at halftime, right? Sarr, he was held in check, I would say, for the most part, but his length ended up getting him a couple points. He had 6 points, 6 rebounds, 1 offensive rebound, so they did a better job boxing him out on the second half. But CJ McCollum and Bub Carrington started getting going in the second half for the Wizards. CJ McCollum 4 for 9, 11 points. Obviously, he had four clutch points at the end of the game that ended up winning this game for the Wizards. And Bub Carrington took over for Trey Johnson in the second half, and he was 6 for 9 and 5 for 8 from 3. So when Trey Johnson wasn't going, Bub Carrington was going. 9 of 22 overall from the three-point line for the Wizards in the second half. But here's the thing, and I'm kind of fast-forwarding a little bit. I'm just using it as context for this game. Somebody literally asked Doc Rivers after the Kings game why Kevin Porter Jr. dribbles so much. He's quite literally the point guard
It's his job. Like, yes, there's times when you'd like to cut down some dribbling, but
in my opinion, he doesn't do that much unnecessary dribbling. I don't know if I'm crazy for thinking that, but
no.
Just with everything going on in this game, the Bub Carrington getting going in the second half, Trey Johnson going in the first half, I thought there was some poor execution on offense on the Bucks end in the second half. Giannis 6 for 13, some really uncharacteristic misses for him. He usually makes everything. I mean, contact, no contact, spinning, falling, one leg, two hands, people poking him in the eyeball. I mean, he usually makes everything. So for him to go 6 for 13, really uncharacteristic. Rollins was 3 for 8. He was 3 for 4 from the three-point line, so all of his makes from the three-point line. He did force some shots. That's something that we were pretty adamant about with Rollins. I do have a pretty sick Rollins stat that I'm going to talk about during the next game. Kevin Porter Jr. was 1 for 6. So overall, those are your three guys that are going to do the boatload of the scoring, the boatload of the shot making and taking. Second half, they were 10 for 22 and 3 for 8 from 3. So when your top three guys are not going, and then the Wizards are getting these random young talented guys going, that's a recipe for how you lose to bad teams.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because like the Wizards have some length, so like they don't. I think that team is better than their record suggests. They're still a bad team, but I do think their record is like the team is better than the records than they present.
Mm-hmm.
And you brought up Ryan Rollins shooting. Him being 5 for 13 from the field and 4 for 9 from 3 means he was 1 for 6 on twos. And we talked about it last week with him against the Hornets, like forcing shots just because you're driving towards the basket. You don't have to shoot every time you drive towards the basket. You can dribble out. And I would say that's even a learning opportunity for Ryan Rollins, is to learn when to take those those Steve Nash dribbles when you're going into the paint, and instead of trying to force up a shot, somehow you just keep dribbling and you dribble in a big old circle because you can get a better shot than the shots that you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the shots that he took, and this was in the third quarter, and this is one of my biggest pet peeves. This is not just Ryan Rollins. This is basketball in general.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a guard and you're running a pick and roll with a big man,
mm-hmm.
and you get the switch, so you have a center guarding a point guard and a point guard guarding a center, there are two things you should be trying to do. First one is getting the ball to your big man so he can take advantage of his size and score over the smaller guy. The second thing you should be trying to do as the guard is trying to get past the big man because you have speed advantage on him, and then you can set yourself up with a 1-on-2 with you and your big man versus the smaller guy guarding him. If he steps up, you drop it off to the big man. If he doesn't step up, Ryan Rollins is athletic enough to go throw down a dunk.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can put up a finger roll or a floater. The worst thing you can do in this situation is try to shoot a step back 3 over a guy who is 6'11" to 7 feet. That is arguably the worst shot in basketball, is shooting a step back 3 over a guy who's 6 inches taller than you.
The only thing that would be worse is a long mid range. Only thing worse. So I agree.
It's a horrible shot selection.
Mm-hmm.
This game, and we've talked about some of the slow starts the Bucks have gotten off to. You'll be able to hear it tonight when we're on Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. We'll talk about it on there. Check his show out. He's gracious enough to have us on and tell people to check out our show. So we should do the same and tell people to check out his show because we're going to be on there so you can hear us again. But slow starts. This game being the second quarter. And Bobby Portis comes into the game, and he's forcing shots. So Ryan Rollins and Bobby Portis forcing shots in the same game is not a great recipe for success. Just going to say that. When we get to the Kings game, I will have literal video examples of what I mean when I'm talking about flowing versus forcing and which fork in the road these two guys are taking. I have video examples of exactly what I mean. We get to the second quarter. Bobby Portis gets a steal. And in forcing fashion, he tries to go from the Wizards free throw line all the way to the basket to score, which is, what you should do if you're a ball handler. But if you are a forward, a front court player, get the ball to a guard. The Bucks, the whole first quarter, the offense was flowing. Everybody was contributing. The ball was moving. The guards were initiating the offense like they're supposed to. Second quarter, the ball stops getting into Kevin Porter Jr. and Ryan Rollins' hands to initiate the Bucks offense. Bobby Portis runs this down, probably gets fouled, but there's no foul call, and Bobby Portis decides to punch the stanchion and start screaming swear words at officials. Dude, I get that you play with energy and you are a passionate person, but you also have to be smarter than that. Because this technical is now not only giving a point to the Wizards, but it's also taking away the steal you just got. It was still Bucks ball, even though there was no foul called. It was still going to be Bucks ball, but now you've given the ball back to the Wizards and given them point. That technical kicked off a 10-0 run for the Wizards, putting the Bucks in a hole. So the Bucks, later on in this game, they go on a pretty big run, an 8-0 run to end the third quarter with a couple clutch buckets, a couple really nice baskets by Kuzma off some really good cuts. Bucks go into the fourth quarter up by 2. Wizards hit 3 straight threes while the Bucks go turnover, miss 3, and now they're down by 8 points.
Yep.
Bucks rattled off a 7-0 run, part of a 16-3 run. Remember that number, 16-3. And they take a 3-point lead on this 16-3 run and end up allowing a 4-0 run by Washington to end at the 114-113 loss. In that 4-0 run, the Bucks had a missed free throw by Miles Turner, a missed wide open 3 by AJ Green, and a Ryan Rollins turnover. Those things, and this is obviously, again, this is benefit of hindsight, but the Bucks got to finish games better as well as starting games better. Now, this game specifically, the Bucks had 24 assists on 41 made field goals. They lost by 1 point. Their average on the season is 26 assists on 42 made field goals. So this is a slightly below average game for them offensively and in the ball movement. And this to me, and I see this game, the Bucks lose in frustrating fashion, and all of the comments on any social media is, why is Doc not fired yet? And I'm going to be blatantly honest with you. This loss is on the players, not on Doc.
I agree.
And I've obviously talked about some of the guys already, but this is not to say that he's, like I want to trade him or anything like that. This is absolutely not where I'm going with this. But Giannis has his bad games too, just like anybody else does. And this game, the ball got sticky in Giannis's hands. Giannis had 80 touches this game and 43 passes. So that means 37 times he was the last person with the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
He scored great, which is fantastic. He was 9 of 14 from the free throw line, 64%. That's okay. Can live with that. I'd like to see him. I mean, even if he's 10 of 14, I'm good.
Yeah.
But 6 turnovers.
Yeah.
Got to get those down. So we can move into Bucks Hornets. And starting with this one, Giannis, much more distributive, which is great. He had 2 fewer touches than Wednesday's game, so he had 78 touches this game, but had 8 more passes. So this game, he had 78 touches and 51 passes compared to 80 and 43. Ball's a lot less sticky. He had half the turnovers while still dropping 30, 10, and 5. And he made all 8 of his free throws. That's a fantastic response. So the Bucks go from a 1-point loss to a 1-point win. And again, you cannot keep getting off to bad starts. Can't do it. Now, seems like every loss happens in one singular quarter. I mean, if you look at most of the losses, it's like Bucks are down 14 after 1. The second quarter against the Wizards, there's a 10-0 run kicked off by a technical foul. Go back to the Timberwolves game when the Bucks had a big lead. They allowed a big run for about 6 minutes when they were stuck on 68 points that game.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, it's a bad start to the second half, if you look at it that way. Ryan Rollins, first half, fantastic, flowing. He was 4 for 5 from the 3-point line. He was not forcing shots. This game's exactly how I want Ryan Rollins to play. He finished 11 of 13 from the field, 6 of 7 from the 3-point line with 8 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, and only 1 turnover. Hell yeah, Ryan. Keep flowing. Yeah. This is the Ryan Rollins where it's like, yeah, build around him for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Wizards game, exact opposite. Like, The Wizards Ryan Rollins, I'm like, okay, I'm willing to include him in trade packages. Hornets Ryan Rollins, I'm like, let's build around him.
Yeah.
Very, very strong duality with him. And Bobby Portis this game too. He's also flowing, not forcing. And the distinction is to be made if Bobby is moving the ball, even with the dribble, being decisive and not getting the ball on the first pass or bringing the ball up the floor and acting like he's Knicks Carmelo Anthony. When you see him playing like that, that's when you know it's like, all right, Bobby, you got to get the ball moving. When the ball is that sticky and he's just dribbling and he's just kind of jab stepping and, you know, pump faking and just trying to get to a spot to shoot a fadeaway, it's forcing.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like almost every single time Bobby's first touch, no matter where it comes from, is going into a mid-range shot.
Yeah. When he holds onto the ball, he's taking a mid-range jumper.
Yeah. So seeing both Ryan Rollins and Bobby Portis play more like catch and shoot guys, dribbling to move the ball, not just to get to a spot and force a shot, dribbling with purpose, that is much better to see. Kevin Kuzma was highly impactful in my opinion. He made some really, really clutch shots. He finished 7 of 10 from the field, 3 of 5 from the three-point line. He had 18.6 rebounds. Did allow 7 of 14 from the field, but held Brandon Miller to 0 for 4. So he defended Brandon Miller well, just not some of the smaller guards and stuff like that. And just, I mean, a really, really, really good shot at the end of the game to hit a 3 that was really clutch to give the Bucks the 2-point lead. I'll hold off to talk about the end of the game until we get to that point, but we have to acknowledge everybody that plays a part in the end of games. End of the game, Giannis had a really, really bad turnover. He's kind of on the top of the free throw line, holding the ball out on his hand like this, and LaMelo Ball just runs up behind him and takes it away.
I think that teammates need to help him out and say something in that situation, though, too.
Which is fair, but like, dude,
I
you can't
get
just
it.
angle the ball out there.
I get it.
Or at least like recognize that there might be somebody coming to try to take it from you. Like if you're going to do that, like you need to look first and make sure that there's not somebody right behind you who's just
or hold it up a little higher. Hold it up a little higher or something.
But then following that, he playmaked 2 huge threes, and then him and Doc combined to draw up a beautiful last play of the game. So give me your thoughts, and then we'll kind of talk about the end of the game, and we'll keep moving.
Yeah, so here's my first thought. My first thought is when we were coming into this season, we were looking at Giannis, Miles Turner, and Bobby Portis kind of being the triangle, right? Of, okay, these are the 3 big men that are going to rotate. Giannis played 30 minutes in this game, but I think now the triangle of rotation has now turned into Miles Turner, Kuzma, and Bobby Portis. So that's kind of where I'm going to look at it now. And I'm going to be combining Bobby Portis and Kuz impact together because those are the 2 main guys off the bench. Those are the 2 guys with length that come off the bench. Now, they did use Sims for 2 minutes, but 2 minutes in a 48-minute basketball game doesn't really mean much. He did score a bucket. So good job, Sims. You did your job in 2 minutes. You scored a bucket. Bobby Portis and Kuzma, they combined on offense to have 38 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists. They shot 14 of 21 combined and 7 of 11 from the three-point line. So that was fantastic stuff right there. Super efficient. Like you said, Kuzma versus Brandon Miller was very good. I also had that written down. He also forced 2 turnovers on Brandon Miller. So fantastic stuff by Kuzma there on Brandon Miller. There was one guy I wanted to highlight on the Hornets. And before I get into that, I wanted to say the thing you said about the Wizards where you think they're better than their record, that's absolutely how I feel about the Hornets.
The Hornets are fun.
Especially after they just beat OKC.
The Hornets are fun.
They can score.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. They can score. They can shoot. They can get up and down. They have actually put together nice building blocks. I mean, when Kalkenbrenner is back, he's a good finisher inside. The Hornets they got rid of Michael Jordan and they got better at drafting and developing. Think about that for a second.
They should, I will say this, they should let us have Miles Bridges and Grant Williams.
You son of a bitch. I was just going to go there. If there's one guy that the Bucks are going to trade for, this is literally my number one guy. Miles Bridges literally fits everything that the Bucks need on the wing.
Absolutely.
Length, finishing. He made a clutch bucket that gave them the lead late in this game. He could shoot threes. What was he in this game? I can get it up here real quick. He was 5 of 10 from 3, 8 of 17 from the field. He had 25, 6, and 2. So, I mean, dude, he could finish with contact. He could jump over you, through you, around you. Dude, perfect fit, seamless fit on this Bucks roster. He also guarded Giannis for 6 minutes and 39 seconds. He held Giannis to 4 for 9 from the field and forced a turnover. Yeah, he was good, dude. He did have the 3 turnovers. One of them was an offensive foul, but yeah, Miles Bridges would absolutely be my number 1 trade target for the Bucks if they were to go that way. I don't know if the Hornets would give up on him, but they got a lot of young pieces, and if they get rid of Bridges, that's just more shots for Brandon Miller, in my opinion, which is what they should want. Or Con Knipple. I mean, Con Knipple can shoot too, so giving more shots to that guy who can just knock him down is good too.
He doesn't quite fit the timeline of the rest of their young guys.
That's true. He's probably a year or two ahead, I would say. Yeah. Like if he was a year or two younger and behind, yeah, I would agree with you. I wanted to talk about Kevin Porter Jr. He did have a pretty inefficient shooting day, but he still was able to make an impact with his 10 assists and his defense. I also wanted to give him a shout out because he's been logging a ton of minutes lately. He played 36 in this one, multiple 40-minute games in the last couple of weeks. So the guy's tired, dude. And like people are saying that he's dribbling too much, dude. That's quite literally his job. It's going to be in his or Giannis's hands. That's what it is. And if you don't like that, then don't watch. But that's the 2 people that are going to have the ball. Now, at the end of the game, I wanted to bring something up here. So Ryan Rollins, he is third. He has the 3rd best field goal percentage in clutch situations in the entire NBA, 57.1%. The Bucks as a team actually ranked 10th in field goal percentage in clutch at 46.2. So for everything that's wrong with the Bucks in the clutch, they know how to lock in. And you were talking earlier about the final play that Giannis drew up. I was just talking about how the ball is going to be in 2 people's hands. Who's the 2 people's hands that it was in the clutch situation? And how well did the play work? Look at that. It's not a mystery. Giannis knew, hey, they're switching. I want Kevin going to the rim. He's a guy that can finish through contact or get fouled. Or if you have to, just lob it up to me. I'll be right there. Giannis is always right there. He lobs it up, and Giannis obviously finishes. And then the defense at the end of the game, this is where I was talking about Kevin Porter Jr. with the impact. Yes, he was inefficient from the field, but he played really good defense on that last play. You got Brandon Miller coming downhill at you. That guy is massive, super long, super athlete. He was a number 2 overall pick for no mystery, right?
Yeah.
So Kevin Porter Jr. plays really good defense. Obviously, a lot of people, play good defense as well. Got to give a shout out to Bobby Portis as well. He played good defense on that final play. But hey, the Bucks got the win. They got defense, and Giannis did set an NBA record. Had NBA history in this game.
Yep.
158 games of 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. That's most in NBA history. So congratulations, Giannis. You deserve it, man.
Yeah, and I love that the 2 guys who are tied after him are both former Bucks as well.
All right. We have a pretty good history, honestly. I think our history is one of those histories where like people will sleep on it.
I feel like the 70s and 80s had some good history. The 90s were kind of bad. The early 2000s were really good, and then like 2005 to like 2015 were just awful.
They were bad, but then after that, we've been pretty consistently in the playoffs and having all-stars and MVPs and stuff. So I mean, our NBA history honestly is a little bit slept on.
Yeah, that's not bad. And looking at them being 10th in the clutch, like I'd be fine if you told me that the Bucks are the 10th best team in the league. I would be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a place where I feel they can get to.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to this was Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday night game against the Kings. I'm going to let you go first because when I'm done talking, I'm going to bring up some of the video clips that I have. So, Bucks Kings Sunday night. What did you take away from that one?
Yeah. So first thing I want to talk about is people really talking about Miles Turner. He had 1 point in the previous game. He comes into this one. He scores 15 points on 13 shot attempts. They gave him 9 3-point attempts. So obviously they made it a focus to get him the ball a little bit more, which was something that I had been talking about, honestly. Mm-hmm. So really nice to see him get the ball a little bit more. He was making some shots early, and obviously it was helping the Bucks win and get out to a big lead. AJ Green was the guy who struggled from the field in this one, 0 for 6 from the field, but got to give AJ Green a ton of credit over the last couple of years for the defender that he's become. He's a team-first guy. I will never, ever complain about AJ Green's effort, so I love that from him. Now, talking about Miles Turner again. Miles Turner had a great night defensively. The Kings shot 5 of 13 versus him. He forced 4 turnovers and he had 2 blocks. So Miles Turner was absolutely doing his thing on top of giving you 15 points. Love that. In a game, I have to talk about some bad stuff real quick before I get into some more good stuff. I'm going to talk about this, talk about Kevin Porter Jr., and then I'm going to close it out talking about Giannis. So in a game that the Bucks won by 17, they had 3 players that ended with a negative plus-minus. How does that even happen, you ask?
Because they gave away a big lead for a while in the third quarter.
Yep, that is exactly what happened.
And fourth quarter.
Gary Trent Jr. I love you, Gary, but -5 for the game. -19 in the second half. Bobby Portis, -12. -19 in the second half. Gary Harris, -4. -14 in the second half. That means he was +10 in the first half. So I'm not saying that these individual players are the sole reason why the Kings were making shots and coming back, but obviously it's a trend with two of the players on this list, Gary Trent Jr. and Bobby Portis, being in the negative and the plus-minus. So those guys really need to step it up. And Bobby Portis, 9 and 11 is really not that bad. So this is the contextual stuff that we talk about.
The thing that bothers me about that is he had 9 points and 10 rebounds in like the first 10 minutes that he played, and he ended up playing like 25 minutes.
Yes. So he made almost zero impact after that. So talking about Kevin Porter Jr., you stole my thunder a little bit this week talking about the assists. So I tried to switch up the gears here, and I got some different notes in case you wanted to talk about that again today. Kevin Porter Jr. Over the last 3 games is 21 of 46. That's 45%. That's really dragged down by his Hornets game, right? But he's averaging 18 points, 4.7 rebounds, 8.3 assists this week. He was a +17, and he had a 47.1 effective field goal percentage. Again, the effective field goal percentage getting dragged down by the Hornets game. And if you're wondering, you're like, is 47.1 a good effective field goal percentage? It is. I would say that it's average to above average. The effective field goal percentage average for, they say, starters or elite players is around 54 to 55. That's what I found online. So if you're at 47, I would consider you a good starter. And he's a guy that's dishing out assists and playing defense as well. Again, a 40 minutes logged for Kevin Porter Jr., so he's putting in a ton of minutes right now. He's probably the only ball handler that Doc Rivers trusts. Outside of Giannis. Giannis is off limits in this stuff, but if you had to think about it, do you think that he's probably sweating over there, white knuckling when Ryan Rollins is in there handling the ball?
Yeah.
AJ Green's not really a attack off the dribble kind of guy. There's not really anybody else. I mean, Kuzma can get downhill.
Kuzma maybe.
There's really not that many options, honestly. So Kevin Porter Jr., if he's the guy, he's going to dribble a lot. Now we got to talk about Giannis. Giannis had 6 points in the first quarter, 2 rebounds. He played 6 minutes and 29 seconds. He was really good in the first quarter, 2 for 2. Second quarter, 9 points, 4 for 5, 4 rebounds, played 8 minutes and 2 seconds. So 14 minutes and 31 seconds in the first half, 15 points, 6 rebounds, and he was +8. So good stuff. He was +10 in the second quarter, really started to take off in the second quarter, really started to dominate. And really, the Kings had nobody inside. I mean, even with Sabonis, if Sabonis is in there, Sabonis is not known for defense. He's not stopping Giannis. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm going to bring up my favorite line from this game. I still watch that clip. I'm not even lying to you. Third quarter, Giannis took 5 shot attempts, made 3 of them, 3 rebounds, had 2 of them on the offensive side, 9 points, +7. He played 7 minutes and 27 seconds. So we're seeing the minutes start to tick up towards normal for Giannis, which is like, a breath of fresh air for Bucks fans. Like, okay, maybe that leg is okay. Thank God. Then you get to the fourth quarter where, the Bucks obviously let the lead slip away a little bit. So Giannis had to put his foot on the pedal again, and he scored 13 points, 4 for 5 from the field, 2 rebounds, 1 offensive, and 5 for 5 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter. So that right there is massive to me. So in the second half, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 8 for 10 overall from the free throw line, but 5 for 5 in the fourth quarter is big to me. It's big to you. It should be big to Bucks fans and NBA fans. Giannis making clutch free throws again. 37-11 and won 13-17 from the field. And the only thing stopping him was a restraining order, as the Kings announcer said, dude.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's a great call. So looking at the Bucks playing without Giannis in the third quarter, that's when they kind of stagnated, and then that's also when the refs stopped calling fouls for the Bucks. So the lead was at 17 points starting in the fourth quarter. The Kings went on a 14-0 run with 3 turnovers and a 1-for-11 stretch by the Bucks. So it was over about a 5.5 minute stretch. The Kings did get as close as 88-85 after the Bucks had a 25-point lead at one point in the third quarter. Now, from there, Kevin Porter Jr. scored 5 straight out of a 7-0 run. The Bucks did another 16-3 run in this game, but because they didn't dig themselves a hole earlier in the game, the 16-3 run that they put together against the Kings gave them a 16-point lead instead of a 3-point lead. So, yes, I understand that it's frustrating that they gave up a big lead, but they also pushed the big lead back, and they also won a game that they did not shoot well from the 3-point line. True. That's a big deal for me. I don't care who the opponent is. If you do poorly at the thing that is your strength and that the thing is that you're building your identity around, which is Giannis and distributing the 3-ball, you can win a game when you don't do that well, especially by 17 points. That's a big deal to me. Again, regardless of the opponent, looking at just what you are doing, to do that in a game where like you're playing how you want to, and the Bucks, they generated good looks, especially in the first quarter, but to not be just hitting those shots, which in a long season you're going to have games where they go 10 for 37, 29% from the 3-point line. Sorry, 27% from the free throw line, 3-point line. Normally they lose those games. Mm-hmm. The big deal, they were 27 of 30 at the free throw line. That is a massive deal. Giannis is 11 for 13 overall. Kevin Porter Jr. made all 8 of his. Looking at the end of this game, the game did still end 27-13 in the final 8.5 minutes of this game after the Kings got close. And looking at those 27 points, the 30 points actually that the Bucks scored in the fourth quarter, 28 of them were scored by Giannis, Kevin Porter Jr., and Miles Turner.
That makes sense.
Giannis had 13, Kevin Porter Jr. had 10, and Miles Turner had 5. So those three combined for 28 of the final Bucks 30 points in the fourth quarter. Now, there's 2 other things I want to talk about. One being a fun one, and I think it's the Bucks are feeling out a Giannis, Kyle Kuzma, Miles Turner lineup. A lineup of those 3. Since Giannis came back on the 27th of December, there has been 4 games where this lineup has been used. It's been used for a combined 8 minutes. So we're talking about an 8-minute sample size of these 3 on the court together. So small sample size. But in 8 minutes, the Bucks are 7 for 14 from the field, 2 for 4 from the 3-point line, 7 for 9 from the free throw line, and plus 3. If you look at those numbers and you average them out for a quarter, it's about 34 points a quarter, which equals 136 points a game.
That's pretty good.
That's real good. Mm-hmm. And 50% from the field, 50% from 3. That's real good.
Also good, yes.
Yeah. So small sample size, but encouraging numbers there.
Yeah.
And then before I get to the couple clips where I'm going to tell you about, what I'm thinking with forcing and flowing, mm-hmm. I'm not happy with the Kings.
Oh, dude. I knew you were going to be the one to bring this up. I was going to try to ignore it.
I think they played pretty dirty in this game, and I do not appreciate it.
Dude.
For Precious Achiuwa, respectfully, go to hell.
Seriously.
That you're going to try to push Giannis and then just fall down onto the side of his leg. And twist and land on his knee and ankle.
I mean, I think our buddy Jason kind of summed it up perfectly. Why did we just see a hip chop tackle in a basketball game? Why? That doesn't make sense to me.
A couple possessions later, Giannis gets an and 1 bucket. He does the 2 thumbs down. He's going full villain mode, which I appreciate. After the game, he tweets out, the video of him doing the 2 thumbs down and going boo, and he tweets top villain, God willing.
Oh my God, dude. He's going to come out with an album, dude. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, for no reason at all.
Unfortunately, that's not the only play that I felt was dirty in this game. Dennis Schroeder also took out A.J. Green by sticking his foot under A.J. Green's foot as he's trying to dribble. There's no foul called. If that was a shot attempt, it would have been a flagrant. But because it's while AJ Green is dribbling, it's just nothing. Brian Westbrook. Wow. Russell Westbrook grabbing Giannis around the shoulder and then just pushing him to the ground. Like, really? And another one where Giannis is trying to set screens and Westbrook is constantly just two-hand pushing him. Like, I get trying to chuck a guy off the screen, but you're not supposed to do it by acting like it's a fucking blocking dummy in the NFL when you're practicing for D-line.
Yeah. You want to even bring up the one where freaking Rollins...
I had two more yet.
Oh, okay.
Another one where Giannis is looking up while Miles Turner is shooting a three. Dennis Schroeder runs over, just two-hand pushes him all the balls in the air. The only thing that would have made that worse is if Giannis had jumped and then he had pushed him. But
agree.
Two hands in the back while somebody's looking up is one of the worst things you can do to a basketball player.
I agree.
That's when I'm up in the air and somebody pushes me in the back while I'm in the air, like, I'm ready to throw hands. Like, that's how much it pisses me off. Like, don't do that to people.
Agreed.
I don't care how rivalry you view it. I don't care if it's Game 7 of the finals. Don't put your hands in the back of somebody who's up in the air. Don't do that. And then the last one, right at the end of the game, Russell Westbrook taking a shot at Ryan Rollins because he didn't want to get dunked on or allow a dunk. And I get that I said it with Giannis the last time that the Bucks did this. The Bucks aren't taking shot clock violations to help your feelings.
Nope.
But you also don't have to go and hit somebody in the face either.
Yeah, and like you could visibly see like where he got hit in real time, and it was like, dude. And the refs didn't like change the call or anything. It was just
didn't even look at it. Nothing.
I'm like, dude, what are we doing here? You could literally see his face, bro. Like he got hit in the actual face.
Yeah, and like I said with Giannis, if you don't like it, stop it. But that's not at all in the spirit of what I said. That's not trying to contest a shot. That was trying to take a shot at somebody, especially when you consider the way that he played the rest of the game. I don't believe that he was in all good faith trying to make an actual play on the ball.
I agree.
Especially that he's talking shit to Ryan Rollins right after that.
Seriously. Like, of course Rollins is going to say something. He's the one that just got hit in the face, dude.
Yeah.
He's allowed to say something. He's allowed to be upset.
Yeah.
What, Russell Westbrook? I don't give a shit. I'll fight you right now. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So I didn't appreciate any of that from the Kings.
Yeah.
Now, okay. So here we go. I have two examples. I have Ryan Rollins, and I have Bobby Portis, and I have forcing, and I have flowing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do Rollins first. And let's do Ryan Rollins forcing, and I'll give you the example of what I mean. So Ryan Rollins literally calling for a screen, waits for the defense to recover. Like you don't have to take that shot. There's still like 8 seconds left in the shot clock. Like, let me hide the banner so you can see this. Like, when he shoots this, there's like 8 seconds left in the shot clock. And thankfully, Bobby Portis goes and gets an offensive rebound here. But there's no reason to take this shot.
Yeah, Kuzma can help him out on that play too. But I agree. Kuzma should make himself available. He's kind of fading to the back. Yeah, that was...
But, like, when you see the ball here, like, I'm not thinking, okay, this needs to be a step back.
Honestly, he was getting clamped right there.
Like, even here, like, I still don't feel like this is a step back. Like, you give the ball to Gary Harris in the corner, he'll give it back to you, you reset, and you give the ball to Kuzma, who's got Dennis Schroeder guarding him.
That should be a dive by Kuzma right there. With the smaller guy on him, he should be diving to the paint right there.
That's fair.
And then
Bobby Portis grabs it, finishes with an offensive rebound.
Yeah, dude, Eubanks is terrible, dude. He was getting babied by Giannis or by Bobby Portis early.
Now this is beautiful. This is flow state right here. This is a zero dribble possession. Bobby Portis gets a defensive rebound, gets the ball to a guard or a ball handler.
Yeah, that's
that mama's the Mia right there.
Yes.
That is great basketball. This is probably John Wooden's favorite Milwaukee Bucks play ever.
Seriously,
the ball doesn't touch the floor.
Oof.
That is beautiful. Textbook what I want to see. Perfect. No notes. Everybody did their job. Fantastic.
Yeah, then you just get the timeout right after, right?
Yep. So this is what I don't want to see. The last play was a work of art. This is bullshit.
Yeah, dude, I'm sick and tired of these goddamn shit with Bobby.
Bro.
Dude,
Bobby Portis is getting the rebound, and
Yep.
he's got Kuzma next to him and a shooting guard out in front of him. And oh my, zero passes. You want to know what grinds my gears? That is what I mean when Bobby Portis is forcing. So don't do that. That is bad.
Sorry, I'm getting a hug by somebody. I got a guest right here. You want to say hi? Can you say hi? Say hello. Say hello. You want to show them what we do when the Bucks hit a 3-pointer? Yeah. What do we do? We go like this. Put the 3 up. And what do you do? Dink. Good job, girl. All right, thank you.
So we have an example of that. This is Bobby Portis flowing. So this is what I mean. Moving the ball, gets the ball, takes a dribble, goes back and forth. Gets a reset. Boom.
Yeah, that's
perfect. That's perfect. That's what I want you to do every time. You run pick and roll. He got a smaller guy on him. He gave the ball to Gary to give him a second to go and get to his spot. Gary gives the ball right back. He goes in his post move, gets a bucket and an and one. That's perfect. Do that. Just do that.
Dude, when you're okay, let's just talk like real about Bobby Portis for a second. 250, good lower base, good touch. That was good basketball. Get your ass down there, use that hook shot. That's why I was calling for hook shots like a month ago. I was like, dude, Bobby needs to shoot more hook shots, bro.
Yeah,
he's too goddamn good down in the post and not do that. Stop settling for that bullshit.
And he can still do catch and shoot on the 3-point line.
Yes.
But play as catch and shoot, not catch a rebound on defense and dribble up into a mid-range. That is what I mean with forcing and flowing. Those two things right there. I have video evidence now, so people know exactly what I mean, that I'm not just talking shit about Bobby Portis because I don't like him or whatever. No, like I love the second version of Bobby Portis that I just showed you. Flowing, playing within the flow of the offense, being decisive, moving the ball, like playing good basketball.
Yeah, that was also good basketball IQ by Gary there as well, realizing that Bobby wanted that post. That was very nice. Like there was like limited communication. It was just pass, okay, give it right back, okay, boom, right into it. We're good to go.
He's like, I'm gonna pass to you so I can go set up with a smaller guy on my back hip.
Yep. And that was a perfect move.
As soon as he got the ball, he didn't turn, face up, jab step, pump fake, jab step. He got the ball. He went right into his post move. Boom, boom, and one.
And then you're able to talk your talk, which is Bobby likes to do that. That's fine. I'm okay with it. I like when people want to talk. If you're doing stuff like that, you can talk all the talk you want, man.
That's the positive momentum version of talking like that versus the Wizards version where you thought you got a foul and now you want to yell and scream and you get technical for it and it kicks off a big run for the other team.
Yeah, agreed.
So Milwaukee Bucks, we have 4 games between now and next Wednesday. They play at Golden State tonight. That's a late one. They play at the Lakers on Friday. They finish up their West Coast road trip with a game at Denver on Sunday. And then they play against the Timberwolves back at home on Tuesday. So we will have 4 Milwaukee Bucks games next Tuesday. So other than that, we're ready to switch to the Badgers. All right, let's give this a go. See what this looks like once.
All right, let's see it. I'm with it.
All right. So now we're ready to switch to the Badgers. We got Mike in. So,
that's fine.
We have Badgers and Purdue. We get, again, bad news first, good news second. So let's start, Mike, with the guards against Purdue from Saturday.
Oh, man. So, it's actually, first off, it's hard to believe that it's basketball season right now, given the certain portal stuff that's going on for football. But, let's get into it, boys. We this was a tough one on Saturday. Thought we were off to a decent start. I mean, we got up about 24-21, and kind of after that, kind of fell downhill. Certain player did get in foul trouble, which kind of threw us off. I'll let Tyler talk about that when he's up. But with Nick Boyd, I mean, offensively on paper, it looked like he did have a good game. I mean, played 33 minutes, 24 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. only one turnover, which is always nice. You have that, one turnover game. That's not bad. 10 for 10 at the free throw line, which was big time on his part to somewhat help us keep us in the game. Offensively, he did, get to the cup a decent amount. It's kind of similar to last night, which we'll talk about later too. He did a decent job at that, but ultimately you played two sides, offense and defense, right? And unfortunately on defense, I think against Braden Smith, he did struggle a little bit. Braden Smith conducted this whole game as far as I'm concerned. You look at it, 14 points, 12 assists, which is just insane. Broke the Big Ten record, which is definitely impressive, even though he's been there for 7 years now, I believe, at Purdue. But it is what it is. That's today's college basketball landscape. But no, Braden Smith dominated this game. He conducted what was going on from pretty much start to finish. But that's Purdue in general, right? But no, Nick Boyd, he definitely did his best to keep us in this game. That stat line alone, I think, just shares a lot. But jumping right into it too with Jack Janicki, not 0 points again. Did get 18 minutes. Did get 5 rebounds though, 1 assist. Did have 1 turnover, 1 steal. I always, when I play the game of basketball, I know my shot's not going to fall. You have to find ways to be more productive in other spaces, right? And with the amount of shit that I do give, that I have been giving him this season, the one little saving grace I will have for Janicki is that, he comes in, still gets 5 rebounds for us, still, again, just tries and contributes any way he can. That's how I love to play my game. My shot's not going down. I'm going to find other ways to contribute. So I can definitely relate to that a little bit. But being the first guy off the bench, that still, in my view, gives no excuse in college basketball today. You have to be productive. You have to knock down shots. You're coming into this season, supposedly one of the best shooters on the team. Apparently it shows in practice every single day, right? But we're not seeing that on the court so far this year. So
Braden Carrington must be horrible at shooting threes in practice.
Dude.
Yeah. That's another discussion. You're going to obviously talk about it, but yeah, it's another point that we can, definitely address. But no, it's like clockwork. It's been like clockwork lately for this guy in terms of, trying to get points for us. And unfortunately, it just hasn't happened up to this point. I would think those minutes got to start to maybe decrease a little bit unless you can start making shots, But Zach Kinzinger didn't do a whole lot. He only got 5 minutes, 1 steal. Hayden Jones, 5 minutes, 2 points. But just going back, we had a good start in the first half. Unfortunately, it did kind of fall apart. Probably right around the 5 or 6 minute mark to go. The story of this game is a couple of things, right? The points off turnovers at the end of the day is what really kind of screwed us, from not having a chance to come from behind, which we ended up falling down by 25 points at one point. But, the first 9 turnovers we had in the game, it led to 16 Purdue points, right there. That's kind of just inexcusable, especially, and Tyler and I always like to harp on this, when those turnovers are unforced for the most part, So if it's just like it's controllables with this team, a lot of it is too. So, and shooting 4-25 from 3, again, mentioned it last week, especially talking to that game after Milwaukee. That's not going to fit if our identity is to go out and shoot the 3 ball. The last 2 games now, we're 8 of 47 from the 3-point line. That's 17%.
That means we're about to have one hell of a game against Michigan, hopefully.
Oh, dude.
That's Keel Rec League numbers, okay? That's Keel Rec League numbers right there.
I'm going to put up better numbers than that tonight.
Yeah, as a team. I'm talking as a team, though, maybe.
If they let me start shooting some threes, then I'll bring the average down.
Okay. All right. That's fair enough. But
we'll see how many pick and pops we run tonight, Jake.
I'm shooting 1 3 now. I'm shooting 1 3-pointer tonight.
If you make it, then you get to shoot another one.
I'll be getting up a good amount, too. We only got 5 tonight, so this is not going to be good. But
nice.
No, the 2 at the end of the day, again, Braden Smith, I think he conducted the whole game. He's all Big Ten. He's all America for a reason. 3-point shooting, that's got to improve. And those first 9 turnovers, which led to 16 points for Purdue, that's just not going to win us ball games, especially against a top 5 team like that. So that's basically my main takeaways.
Yeah, so pretty much I echo what you said about the whole team. Looking at bad passes leading to turnovers, but the Badgers had 8 first-half turnovers that led to 13 points off turnovers for Purdue in just the first half.
Yeah.
I will say the Badgers' offense, their game plan was good in the first half. They were being very intentional getting to the paint against a team that does not allow people to get to the paint. So good on the Badgers for doing that, and that's, I believe, how they built their lead. Now, being lax with your passes, the unforced errors like Mike's talking about, in my opinion, it led to both of John Blackwell's first 2 turnovers. The first one really directly because he was trying to jump into the ball. Nolan Winter made a pretty careless pass, and John Blackwell was just trying to grab the ball to not have the ball be turned over, and you got to follow for it. And then shortly after that, about a minute and a half later, there's another turnover, and in transition, John Blackwell gets his second foul off of another turnover. It's like, you can't be doing that, because not only does that then obviously hurt your defense, you're having fouls, you're not getting shots, but you're putting one of your best players in foul trouble. Unfortunately, he was one of the victims of the bad 3-point shooting. Dan, welcome back. We're looking at and listening to Matt Painter, Purdue's head coach, talking about the game after the game, that they were trying to keep the Badgers out of the paint in the second half because they did so well of it in the first half, and they were going to live with the Badgers shooting threes, and it worked out for them because the Badgers couldn't hit their threes in the second half. John Blackwell was 0 for 5 on threes. He was 4 for 6 on his twos, so that's encouraging at least there. He was 1 for 2 from the free throw line. He finished with 9 points, 3 rebounds, 1 turnover, 0 assists, and 0 steals. Andrew Rohde also 0 for 3 from the three-point line. He was 1 for 1 on twos, made one of his 2 free throws, and had 3 rebounds. I can live with Rohde having 3 rebounds as long as it's not 0 when he's playing 20 to 25 minutes. He had an assist, a turnover, and a steal. And Braden Carrington comes in. He hits a 3 from the Culver's logo. Hits another 3 on an inbound. Gets off to a 2 for 3 start from the three-point line, and I still think his third one probably could have been a foul. So he probably could have had 9 points on 3 touches in this game. He's a spark plug. He had 6 points, 2 rebounds, and a turnover in 9 minutes. Why is Braden Carrington only playing 9 minutes?
So many questions, dude.
Braden Carrington is my biggest question mark with this team. And I, like, the first couple games, I'm like, okay, we'll see kind of how he fits. Like, he does all of the things that you want to do. He shoots threes. He plays defense. He's got length. He's got, athleticism. Like, why is he not fucking almost starting?
Dude, if you, like you said before, if you listen to us on the radio, we were talking about that, and I said, dude, he should be starting. Damn near he should be starting. Your best on-ball defender outside of John Blackwell can spread the floor. It makes no sense.
And, I'm going to come back to this because I'm going to talk about Rohde more against UCLA because he did everything I want him to do in that game. But Braden Carrington should be at the very least your 6th man, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
So, Jake, tell me what you thought from the bigs, and then we'll go on to UCLA.
Yeah, the Badgers, like you said, they started out the game really strong. They attacked the rims. They were the rim. They were feeding the bigs, but Purdue has just so many big men, dude. I mean, every freaking year I look at this team and I'm just like, how do you have 3 7-footers stashed? Is this the 90s? What the hell is going on, dude? They had the young guy come in, and he's like 7 feet tall, and he comes in there and he starts crashing the offensive rebounds, and I'm just looking at the TV and I'm just like, I can't wait to hate you for the next couple of years. That's going to be a super fun time. But the Badgers we knew this coming in, right? We knew that they lacked depth at the big man position. Nolan Winter is really the only guy out there who is an actual Big Ten starter. Now, Bielowskis, you could see the potential in him. If he's going to be on the floor, he has to do a couple things. 1, box out better. 2, he has to spread the floor with his 3-point shot. He has 3-point shooting ability. He was 0 for 2 in this game, 1 for 4 from the field overall. And he has to know where he is on defense. And Tyler alluded to it early. Mike alluded to it. I'm watching the game, and I don't even want to talk about it because I'm just pissed off at this point. I'm just like, this guy has no idea where he is right now. No idea. So then you get to the point of rap. And I also listened to Matt Painter talk about giving up 3-point shots. What the hell is Rap's whole thing? What is his whole thing coming onto this team? He can shoot threes, right? He's supposed to be the guy that
enforcement
breaks
here.
the mold. 1 for 6. That's literally his job. That is his main job, is to be a three-point shooter so that Nolan Winter can go down low and dominate down low. Nolan Winter also a guy who can hit threes, but he's gotten much stronger and much better footwork, and he was dominating down low early. He ended with 18 and 10, so good on Nolan Winter to get another double-double. But Rapp, nothing. And Garlock, 7 minutes, 3 personal fouls, dude. He is what you call a project. Because clearly, and I stated this earlier, I was like, he's going to struggle with the speed, bro. And he was struggling with the speed. And when you think of speed, you're going to think of the point guards or the wings. No, there are big men. I forget his name. What's the power forward's name on Purdue? I'm blanking on his name.
Hoffman Run.
Yeah, dude, that guy is a super athlete, dude. He'll definitely get drafted in like the second round just because of his athleticism and because he has a lot of career minutes logged in college. Yeah. But that guy's super, super athletic. He's going to cause matchup problems on his own. And I thought Nolan Winter actually did a pretty decent job on him, in my opinion, when they were matching up one-on-one. But there's just no big men outside of Nolan Winter. He needs a partner in crime, and he has no Robin to his Batman, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Kind of wish we were sort of missing that who Elijah Gray was supposed to be, right? But the guy who joined us, and then he got kicked off for I don't know, gambling or whatever the hell it was. But no, it makes you wonder now, like, oh shit, like we could potentially use this guy right now.
I mean, you look at freaking Gus Yeldon playing. Who the hell does he play for? I forget. But I saw him freaking balling the other day, and I was like, you know, we could use a guy that could score down low. That would be pretty cool if you weren't an idiot. But it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So I am glad that this will be the last year of not only Braden Smith but also London Fletcher. Go away.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Let's go to UCLA. Jake, start with the big men. I'll let you start this time.
Yeah, so Bielowski, 16 minutes in this game, 13 versus Purdue, but he did a much better job in this game. He only had 2 points and 1 rebound, so the impact in the box score was not met, but the better job was his boxing out. He was so much better. Now, UCLA does not possess the size or physicality that Purdue does. Obviously, Purdue is ranked number 5 in the country for a reason. They're well coached and they're a well-oiled machine. UCLA, no slouch. They still have a pretty good coach. They still have some size, but
turn the team.
But Bielowski did a really nice job boxing out, and he really, really did a nice job matching the physicality, I'll say. Nolan Winter is just phenomenal, dude.
It's a baller.
He is growing up in front of our eyes right now. And I'm going to put it like this. If we don't appreciate it while he's growing up, we're not going to remember it. It's almost like when Giannis won the Most Improved Player in 2017. If you didn't appreciate what Giannis was turning into in front of your eyes, you don't remember it. Now, I was there. I watch L82. Done that quite a bit. I'm doing that with the Badgers. I'm going to watch every single game, and I'm going to get pissed off at some games, but I'm going to appreciate what Nolan Winter is turning into. This is something that we've talked about for a couple of years now, is the potential of this guy, right? So from finishing inside, creating contact, getting foul calls early, late, he was fantastic. He cashed in when he got to the free throw line as well, making 8 of 9. He showed some real toughness that has really been missing from this team, honestly. And they showed character in this game, I thought, building an early lead and then maintaining that lead. Now, UCLA did a nice job trying to chop away at the lead, but the Badgers just wouldn't give up on it. And I know there's at least one guy in this team that agrees with me that they needed to show some toughness, and they've been getting pushed around, and that's Nick Boyd, because he talked about it after the game. And I was like, finally, somebody said the thing out loud. We are getting freaking punked. We got to stop getting freaking punked. And they were obviously talking about the flagrant that happened towards the end of the game. But, hey, sometimes those are the things that need to happen to wake your ass up. So I am actually a little bit happy that somebody got a flagrant on this team, showed a little bit of toughness. You know, it's maybe it shouldn't have been a flagrant, but you know, it is what it is. But it's a good thing. I think you can spin it to be a positive thing for this team. The bigs were better in this game, and to no surprise, Rapp wasn't playing. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't even think that was. I thought that was a common foul. You could have called
So
that
did
as a
I,
common,
but
because I think it was because he brought both of his arms down,
yeah.
but the arm that like did get him, I guess it seemed like he got most. I know he did get armed. Don't get me wrong, but it seemed like he like still went for the ball. Like I don't know. That was just
I mean,
my
so
view.
you get you get flagrant fouls like that, and then you go to the NBA, and we were just talking about Russell Westbrook for trying to take out Ryan Rollins' eye socket, and there's no review. I don't know anymore. I don't know how
there
to
was like 4 reviews at the end of this game. It's like, why are they going to the monitors again?
That was so annoying.
The last
Trying
like
to go
minute and
to bed
11
here.
seconds of this game took like 15 minutes.
dude, for real.
I agree with you. Like on the team as a whole, like the Badgers' energy on both ends was way turned up. They were hitting their threes. They were rebounding as a team. Like, thank you for rebounding as a team, for everybody getting involved in the rebounding. That was such a welcome sight to see. And to your point, when UCLA was trying to make their runs, there was a point in the first half where UCLA went on a 6-0 run. The Badgers responded by forcing a shot clock violation and then going on a 5-0 run. That's fantastic. It's a perfect way to respond. Mm-hmm. And I will say, to the point that the whole team was playing with better energy, John Blackwell, he played with better energy. I still think he should be more efficient, but basketball is a sport that rewards good energy. So it's a good start for me from John Blackwell. I said it last week that I think he was playing a little bit conservative at times, and it could have been as a response to coming back from the injury that he had. But this game, it felt like he was playing with much better energy, so that was a welcome sight to see. He was 6 of 15 from the floor, 1 of 9 from 3, which is yikes, but 5 of 6 on 2s. So he had 17 points, made all 4 of his free throws, had 4 rebounds and 3 assists. If you're giving me 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists every night from John Blackwell, I'm good. Andrew Rohde, he was playing towards the ceiling of his capability on both ends, if I say so myself. He played really good defense, and offensively, he finished 12 points, 4 of 6 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Hell yes. That Andrew Rohde, keep him in the starting lineup. Keep Braden Carrington on the bench. But Braden Carrington should still be coming off the bench and playing more than 5 minutes. Another game, he comes in, hits a 3, just like the spark plug that he is. Why are you not just like putting this guy in and seeing if he hits a 3 every time he comes in? Because it's what it feels like the last 2 weeks. That every time you put him in, he comes in, his first shot is butter. Purdue, he comes in, 2 for 3. Nope, let's play him 9 minutes. Like, I don't normally have a pretty, like a beef with Greg Gard, but Braden Carrington's lack of playing time is starting to really irritate me. Because there's no reason that I can see as a fan and a podcaster, there's no reason why I can't see that Braden Carrington shouldn't be playing 15, 20 minutes a game.
I think I'm just talking. So I'm just going to talk specifically last game, right? Because I totally agree with you and all that. I think the one thing that this is just, I'm going to guess here. When Braden Carrington got called for that foul on that 3-pointer, the one 3-pointer that UCLA put up or whatever, and got called for that foul. I'm going to say that probably had a lot to do with, just
I could see that being the case if he wasn't also getting short minutes in every other game since he's been back from his injury.
Because that led to a quick 5-0 run too, right after that.
Yeah, following a 3-point shooter on a team that hasn't made any threes yet was, that's bad. Yeah, but still, that's a reason to take him out of the game, not a reason to play him for 5 minutes.
See, that's one of those moments where you sub him out. You yell at him, you humiliate him if you have to, you talk to him, and then you put him right back in. Because he's talented enough to put him right back in. It's a teaching moment. It's not a moment to pull his minutes. I don't agree with that.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's a reason to take him out of the game. Like you said, lay into him, send him back out there. That's about all I had from the wings. Mike, what did you take away from the guards?
Yeah, actually got a lot on this one. But no, I thought, I watched this thing from start to finish. I honestly thought we did play great. We got an 8-point win. I thought it was a tale of two halves, honestly. First half, just absolutely terrific. I mean, I want to talk about 3-point shooting because I literally talked about it last game. Badgers are 8 of 16 in the first half. That is what we like to see. 8 of 16 in the first half. I can think of 3 or 4 times off the top of my head when we were taking 3-point shots. It was good shots and we turned them into great shots, right? As a team, we made that extra pass. We were more cohesive in that, specifically in that first half. I was so happy, especially when shots fall down, it's great, right? But I thought we did a really good job collectively overall, making that extra pass and getting guys open. Maybe it helped a little bit because we did play a lot of small ball last night too. I think that's maybe that's what opened up a little bit because Nick, I'm just jumping into Nick Boyd, for example, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 8 freaking rebounds for my guy, Nick Boyd. Bravo, buddy. 5 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers. Is what it is. 6 of 10 from the free throw line. I thought he could have had damn near 10 assists. And the reason why I say that is a lot of the points that he got last night, he was able to get to the cup at ease. I thought UCLA did an absolute terrible job on him defensively because anytime he wanted to get to the rack, he could get there. And I thought he could have probably had about 4 or 5 more assists for guys like Andrew Rhodey that were literally sitting in the corner. I'm like, I was begging him, please get it to the corner. Rhodey is literally sitting wide open. But no, Nick Boyd basically got what he wanted in this game as far as I'm concerned. Yes, I do think he does have vision-ish, or what's tunnel vision at times. He does have tunnel vision at times, and there's a couple times which led to those 2 turnovers where I'm just like, dude, Rhodey was open in the corner. Blackwell's right there on the wing, man. Just give it up. But still played a great game, though, overall. We don't get anywhere without him. So I absolutely – you guys obviously touched base about it, but I absolutely love the intensity when he backed up Nolan Winter at the end. Jake, I mean, you hit it on the head with what he said in the press conference, basically calling each other out respectfully internally, saying we got to get our act together. We're soft as hell. Like, if this is what needs to happen for us to, get the ship sailing, like, let's do it. And it sounds like, it seems like Nick Boyd's got to be one of those leaders too. Besides Nolan Winter and even a John Blackwell as well. I mean, Nick Boyd's got the most experience out of everybody on this team, exception to Andrew Rhodey too. But I absolutely loved it when he backed him up. I thought they blew it out of proportion at the end more than need to, as Tyler said. The game extended for 10 to 15 minutes when it was absolutely not needed at all. Everyone's literally walking out of the court, out of the gym as, all that was going on. But Jack Janicki, this might have been it was not much, but this might have been his best game of the season so far. I say that, he did play 24 minutes, which not a fan of that. I am not a fan of that because I will lead it into my next guy that I'm going to talk about. But to his credit, he did hit a couple big shots for us. He hit 2 threes. He got us 6 points. He got us 3 rebounds. Specifically in the second half, he bailed us up. Those 2 threes that he hit, they were in the second half, and they came at times where our offense definitely was not flowing as well. We were definitely more inconsistent in comparison to that first half in terms of ball movement, getting guys open, making that extra pass that I was, reiterating to before. That definitely got a little lost on me watching that second half specifically. But he's still inconsistent, I think, at the end of the day at times. And I don't know if he should have got 24 minutes specifically because they were basically playing 6 guys if we're gonna be real, like mainly 6 guys, especially in that second half. And I thought, other players, Tyler's mentioned one guy, I'm gonna mention the other one next, but that I think definitely deserve a few more minutes. And it keeps guys fresh too at the end of the day. I don't think someone like Janicki, unfortunately, deserves really 24 minutes yet, in my view. Yes, maybe he had a little bit of a hot hand in that second half, but he's just inconsistent in my view yet to this point. Now, maybe he can prove us wrong. Michigan schedule going forward, we'll see what happens. But Zach Kinzinger only got 7 minutes. Wish he would have got. I hope he gets to that 10 to 15 mark at some point. But he comes in and he gets 2 steals, right? So it goes back to me saying, if you're not going to score, you got to find other ways to be productive. And Kinzinger, this is 3 games in a row where he's gotten at least 1 steal. So that tells me he's being aggressive. He's getting after it. He's doing what he can to somewhat be productive.
It's similarly to Carrington. Like, he comes in and he makes a couple plays.
And I just feel I can honestly say I feel comfortable with him bringing the ball up too, which is crazy to say that as a true freshman when you literally started playing like good, okay minutes about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. It's insane. You got someone like Hayden Jones, who I don't mean to crap on him either, that comes in the game, and we've talked about this. Coaches literally shout, get on his ass right now, pressure his ass if he's the guy who's bringing the ball down. You don't see that with Zach Kinzinger. He can at least like bring the ball, somewhat conduct the offense, or at least run it a little bit, right? So that's just that reason. Another reason why I think he should get towards that 10 to 15 minutes per game. I think that's going to grow hopefully as the season goes on. But yeah, to close it out, Hayden Jones, 6 minutes, 2 points, 1 assist. Not too much, but I mean, at least you're not turning the ball over as, somebody who's coming off the bench at the end of the day. So that's good. Yeah, I guess a quiet night from the freshmen, though, overall was a big takeaway. I did think our transition D was definitely suspect at best again. Especially exactly in the second half, where when our threes for sure definitely weren't falling either. A lot of not bad misses, but like clunky misses that lead to fast breaks. And there was just times where UCLA got very easy looks getting to the bucket. And we're very lucky they didn't hit more than 1 3-pointer last night, because they were getting all the looks that they wanted. Granted, was Greg Gard probably wanting them to shoot the 3 ball at some point because they were literally missing everything? Maybe. That's a point that could definitely be made. But I just thought UCLA got way too many good open looks, especially in that second half, and that we got to cut that out. But yeah, at the end of the day, going into Michigan, going into the rest of this month, can we put it all together for a 40-minute game, right? That first half was great, right? That second half, yes, we pulled it out, but the inconsistencies are still there with this team. So I'm looking forward to seeing, can we put the full 40 minutes together, a good quality opponent, or at least put up a good fight against a team like Michigan. And then with this schedule coming up, I think I kind of mentioned it to you guys earlier today. I think after Michigan, I think you're looking at the rest of January, and I think we can win. I think we can win all these games. I honestly think we can, at least 5 or 6. That's my expectation to close out January with this group. I've definitely been wrong many times before, though, but very attainable. Looking forward to seeing what they're doing. Hopefully, Rapp, whether it was injury related or not, he's going to be, at least hopefully he's available going into Saturday, because Michigan does have some size. And yes, he's not a 5, but he's also 6'10", and we are going to need him, I think. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So between now and next Wednesday, we'll have 2 games to cover. We'll have that Michigan game, and we'll have the Badgers playing at Minnesota on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So we will have 2 Badger games again next week, as well as the 4 Bucks games. So next week will be all Badgers or all basketball yet. Probably won't have anything transfer portal related as far as coverage of who's all coming in until the following week, just because the portal does go through the 16th, which is next Friday. So we'll probably still give those last 2 days to give any last minute signings, and then we'll probably give out some thoughts on the 21st or maybe the 28th after that. So other than that, we will see you guys next week, and go Packers on Saturday night, and then tune into Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trades tonight, and you can hear us talk about the Bucks a little bit more even yet.
Yes, sir.